Hello, everyone, and welcome to the January 2018 edition of the App Demo Jam covering new apps on the AppExchange. My name is Jeff Grosse. I'm a Salesforce MVP, and I'm joined today by my co-host and fellow Salesforce MVP, Joshua Hoskins. How are you doing today, Joshua?
Great, Jeff. Glad to be here.
Well, my friend, it's great to have you with me today. I'm also joined by the Demo Jam master herself, the always awesome Amanda Nelson from the Salesforce AppExchange. How are you doing today?
I'm great, Jeff. Great to see you and Joshua as well. This is always fun. A new year, new Demo Jam.
Exactly. We're getting right back into it. And you guys, our audience, can follow along with the webinar today live on Twitter. You can use the hashtag AppDemoJam. You can ask your questions of our Demo Jam participants today. You can share the Salesforce Ohana for the Demo Jam, or just let people know that you're hanging out with us. Today's participants from the Demo Jam for the new apps include Learnsmarter, Komiko, GPS Dashboard, Circle Matchmaker, and Egnyte. Before the competition can get started, though, Joshua has a few rules for the Demo Jam that you guys need to know. Take it away, Joshua.
Absolutely. I do have some rules. So each contestant will get 3 minutes and only 3 minutes. We have audio to let you know when 3 minutes is up. And then you have the opportunity to show 0 slides. We want to see the cool and fun stuff. You are going to want to stick around because you'll be able to also vote for your winners. The best Demo Jam contestant will win an amazing trophy and bragging rights, Jeff. Isn't that cool?
It is. It is a cool trophy, and it is a great thing to show off in people's offices.
Yeah, I love them. So I want to see who's going to win today's trophy. Let's do this.
Absolutely. Well, let's get going. First up today, we have got Egnyte. Egnyte is an enterprise content collaboration platform built for business. Companies as small as 5-person law firms all the way up to enterprises like IKEA, NASDAQ, BuzzFeed, and Red Bull use Egnyte as their unified content layer throughout the organization. With Egnyte, Salesforce users can manage, secure, share, and collaborate their own content from within Salesforce. And with us for the demo today, I've got Cash Upaluri, who is the product manager there at Egnyte. Are you ready, Cash?
Yes, I am.
Fantastic. Your 3 minutes begins now.
Okay, great. Good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where you are in the world. My name is Cash, and today I'll be going over the Egnyte for Salesforce integration and showing how keeping your files in Egnyte allows you to do so much more within Salesforce. Now, Salesforce users often utilize notes and attachments to manage their documents, but with the Egnyte integration, we automatically pull in those notes and attachments into Egnyte in an organized folder structure. Now, once you have your content in Egnyte, it can also be accessed by non-Salesforce users in your organization who have Egnyte accounts. And one of the other examples of ways in which you can bring content in is you can actually use your favorite productivity tools to generate content directly within Salesforce. Today, though, I'd like to show you how an account exec can use Egnyte's integration to close new business without ever leaving Salesforce. So I'm going to start by uploading a contract for a purchase order into Egnyte, which will open up what I can do with that document. For example, I could share, download, preview, or edit that document directly within the Salesforce interface. I can also choose to share that with members of my team and use link options to control what level of access I want different people have access to. So for example, I can create a public link or even a link that only my team members could access. However, for today's demo, I'm going to go ahead and send that document using DocuSign so that I can actually close some business. So when I do this, the document is actually sent out to DocuSign. For the purposes of time in this demo, we've prepared a document with all the markups set up, and I'm going to just go ahead and click send on that. Now, at this point, we've seen that our contract in Egnyte was sent to DocuSign, marked up, and sent out to our customer, and we were able to complete this workflow without ever leaving Salesforce. Now, typically, I would actually check on the status of my DocuSign request directly from the interface, but I'm pretty confident that my customer has already signed it, so I'm just going to refresh the view there, and you'll see that I've got a signed purchase order back in the exact same folder in which I initiated the DocuSign flow. Now, in today's demo, we just saw one example of a workflow with DocuSign, but there are so many other workflows I could use. For example, if I'm using my contract, which is a Word document, I could edit that in Word Online directly within the browser. I could also share the signed contract that I just got with my team to brag about the new business I just closed. And it really doesn't stop there. We have integrated PDF viewers, 3D viewers, cloud faxing, and so much more. And finally, any action I take within the Egnyte for Salesforce integration is completely audited, so my company administrators can review and see exactly what I've been doing. Once you put all your content in Egnyte, there's so many more options to improve productivity, and the best part is you can do it all without ever leaving Salesforce.
Great job, Cash. That was a lot of stuff that we saw there, and I got to say, when I see the ability for us to include so many different kinds of documents and everything else that comes from other places that we work with information that we have to get into Salesforce, being able to tie it in that way and having all those sharing options and the markup options, being able to edit it directly into Word, things like that, that is fantastic, because that's one of the things that sometimes is lacking, is that people don't have the integration between these things. So therefore, it's cumbersome to download it and to upload it and to keep it all versioned. And the fact that you actually put out there the integration with DocuSign, that was actually fantastic too. So I appreciate seeing that. Amanda, I'm going to give it over to you to get our audience question today for Cash.
Great. Yes. Awesome demo. So good to see all the integrations right there. Folks, if you have questions for these apps, these partners, feel free to drop it into the chat and we will try to get your questions answered, or the partners will follow up with you to answer your questions if we don't get to them right away. The first question came in, and it is, what is the most popular integration that you see with your app?
Yeah, sure. I guess the most popular feature of the integration is really the ability for us to pull in notes and attachments. So, typically when customers set up our solution, they're looking for a really quick way to get all their existing files that are in Salesforce into the solution so they can start using some of the features I described today. Our integration will automatically sweep notes and attachments from Salesforce into an organized folder structure. Customers can even choose to remove those notes and attachments from Salesforce in case they want to use Egnyte as a single source of truth. So that's really up to them. And then, that just provides a really quick way for customers to get up and running with the Egnyte solution.
Well, that's awesome. So you've got everything you can take over from the existing, so you don't lose anything and you get running right away. Awesome job. Great to have you with us today, Cash. I'm going to turn it over to Joshua for our second contestant today.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Jeff. Next up, we've got Full Circle Matchmaker. Matchmaker was designed to save sales reps thousands of hours and enable true account-based marketing reporting. Matchmaker's technology enables intelligent lead to account matching and lead routing to help your sales team engage accounts more effectively. Up with us, we've got Richard from Full Circle Insights, and he's going to show us just exactly how Matchmaker works today. Are you out there?
I am here. Thanks, Josh and Jeff. Am I up?
Over to you.
Let's go. So we all know that in this day and age, we're living in an account-based world where it's more important than ever to have a view into everyone who's interacting with your company. However, within Salesforce, we have this divide. It's this divide between leads and contacts. We all know that leads aren't really tied to anything, so reps don't have visibility into who exists in the account. This, of course, can lead to wasted time searching for leads by your sales reps, potentially creating duplicate leads in their databases, thus making for a messier database and, of course, more lost time. Matchmaker was created to solve this problem. Using intelligent matching, we're actually able to look into the lead database and pull over all the leads that match the account. So in this case, looking at our AK Steel Holding Corp, we can see we have 3 leads in our lead database. Now, by doing this, we're actually saving the sales rep a ton of time by showing them 3 new people who they might be able to interact with in this account, thus creating new opportunities, cross-sell, upsell opportunities, or maybe finding new champions or influencers to close an existing deal. The other nice thing with this intelligent matching is it can overlook inconsistencies in data, such as things like inconsistent form fills on things like company name, so that you aren't reliant on searching for bad data. It actually overcomes all that. Thus, of course, in the end of the day, we're saving your sales reps tons of time to find new leads, thus to close more deals. Now, with better visibility at sales level at this time, you can actually now target the best accounts. Now, at the end of the day, how do you know who is the best account? So within Matchmaker, we created this new account rating functionality, looking at all the marketing activity in aggregate that's happened across both leads and contacts on the account. Thus, you can understand which accounts are hot, they've interacted with a lot of marketing activity, and those that are not. Thus, they probably need to turn up the dial. Of course, we're again here saving sales time, knowing which accounts are hot to target versus which ones are not. And if those are accounts that are not, or in this case, poor, they can actually work with marketing to figure out how to turn up the dial, what marketing activities might enable them to get them into the top of the funnel and become hot accounts. Now, if you're a user of Salesforce, as we all are, you probably want to do better measurement on all this effort in the end of the day. And so now what you're able to do is actually convert these leads into contacts. So we have this button here to help you convert these leads to contacts, because if you're using things like the campaign influence object in Salesforce, you're going to be able to put these people from contacts into contact roles, thus allowing for better attribution on all of your efforts in this account-based marketing world. So you can convert the leads to contact roles. But of course, one thing that happens, we all know sales reps are very inconsistent, is sometimes they won't convert leads, which is a problem for marketers. And just one little shameless plug here at the end is we actually have our own campaign attribution product. And what this allows you to do is with campaign influence within Salesforce, you can look at the contact roles and the attribution. But with our Matchmaker functionality, once you've matched those leads to the account, even if you haven't converted them to a contact or a contact role, our campaign attribution product will allow you to include those leads in your attribution as well. Again, for better account-based marketing reporting and enablement for the entire organization. Jeff and Josh, thanks so much.
Awesome. That was super.
I was about ready to.
That was super fast. That's a lot of information out there. And, I'm really glad that you ended up at the dashboards, because after you capitalize on all that efficiency with the sales reps, making them focus on the right leads and who to call and when to call, it really helps from an executive layer and also a management layer to be able to see the productivity in the attribution matrix in the dashboard. The fact that you're enlightening and that you're giving time back to sales reps so that they focus on winning, they focus on talking to the right people, is just an amazing thing that this app does. So thank you very much for your demo. It was awesome. And I'm going to turn over to Amanda now and see if we have any questions.
Yes, all good stuff. Love the demo. I love the colorful charts here at the end to kind of bring it all together and show all the data that you discussed today. So that was great, Richard. The question that came in is, if there are multiple accounts that a lead could potentially be matched to, how do you know which account to match the lead to in that case?
Yep. Thanks, Amanda. So one thing about it's great about our tool is the configuration is all natively here inside of Salesforce as well. And so you can actually come in here and we have things. So in our matching assignment widget, you actually have the ability to do prioritization rules to decide, of course, which account it should be prioritized to based on things like email match, geographic match, timing of the account. So if you have multiple accounts, maybe one is an old obsolete account versus a newer, more active account, or vice versa, whatever it may be. So we give you all the flexibility in the world to control your matching as well as your conversions and your lead routing within the tool as well as setting up your account scoring for the account rating fields.
Awesome. Very, very cool. No one wants a messy database, right?
Nope. That's what we're here to solve.
All right. Thank you so much. Jeff, over to you.
All right. Thanks, Joshua. Next up, we have GPS Dashboard. Whether your company has a field sales or a field service team, three things are usually top of mind about your workers. You want improved field productivity, safer driving habits, and lowered operational costs. CheckFleet delivers on all three and more, all directly within Salesforce. I've got Amin Mufti with me today. Amin is the founder of GPS Dashboard. And are you ready to show us what you've created?
Yes, I am. Do you see my screen?
Yes, and your 3 minutes begins now.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I am a field for this demo. I am a field service supervisor, and I manage a team of service technicians. And I use CheckFleet, which integrates our GPS fleet tracking solution with Salesforce. So what you see right now is a live demo, live map of where our vehicles are right now. And similar to Uber, it refreshes in real time. It shows the status of the vehicles and their location. To power the service, we installed a plug-in Go device in each of our vehicles. This works in cars, vans, and trucks. Today, I am focusing on the productivity of my team, and specifically, I'm looking at a dashboard that flags exceptions that could potentially impact productivity, negatively impact productivity. So I'm looking at late starts. Based on my experience, if a service technician departs the depot late in the morning, he's unlikely to be able to complete all his assigned visits for that day or jobs that day. So I see Bob has had 4 exceptions so far in the month of January. Next, I'm looking at unscheduled stops, and those I've flagged if the vehicle stops at a location for in excess of 10 minutes only. I note Bob on the 15th of January stopped as one such stop. So I'm going to drill down and look at what happened. I'm looking at January 15th for Bob. I want to look at his service appointments for that day. This is the plan. This is the scheduled jobs that Bob was assigned. So I'm looking at, he was assigned to visit ABC Foods at 9:20 a.m. Now let's look at where Bob really stopped. The red indicates the stops in sequence, and you note he stopped at this location for 10.52 minutes. Hence, this triggered the exception report. I also noticed he stopped somewhere else, and that clearly took him off route, so that's unscheduled time, wasted time. Going back to our dashboard, the third exception report that I'm looking at, excessive time at stops. So even though we scheduled Bob to visit ABC for 10 minutes, if he stopped there for longer than that, and in this case, I've set a threshold of 25 minutes, we'd like to capture that because that's something I need to discuss with the individual service technician. It could be a matter of training or whatever. Last but not least is our report driver behavior. Driving around without a seatbelt, idling, waste fuel, and speeding is safety and wasting fuel. So I use check fleet to manage to increase my team's productivity. Thank you.
Awesome job in there, Amin. I like exception dashboards. They're actually one of my favorite kinds of dashboards to create because you always want to look for those outliers and understand what's going on and what things you can address immediately. So the fact that you have those out there and you can grab so much information, I was not expecting to go in there and be able to see whether they're idling extra time, not wearing their seatbelt, all those kinds of things. I mean, that's fantastic information that can be used to, as you say, you can save operational costs. You can make sure that your employees are safer. That's fantastic information. And the fact that it's all directly available within Salesforce mapped out. And again, I wasn't expecting to see that map either, to see where he was scheduled to be and where he actually was. So good job on the demo. I'm going to give it over to Amanda to see what our audience question is today for Amin.
Yeah, great job, Amin. That was really interesting. I liked seeing the photo of the actual device and then going into the demo and how that experience occurs in Salesforce. Really cool stuff. The question is, how long does it take for the data to come from the device and move into Salesforce for the employees to be able to see that information?
Exception-based data we extract from GeoTab at a rate of once every 10 minutes. Except other exceptions can be brought in real time, and the map view is actually real time. So the fleet management solution captures a lot of data. We only extract a subset of it and bring it into Salesforce to drive reports and dashboards. But all the data is accessible in real time, like this map is live.
Wow, very cool stuff. I like that. Well, good job, Amin, today. Thank you for being on the Demo Jam with us. I'm going to turn it over to Joshua for our next contestant.
Thank you.
Thanks. And you guys are going to want to stick around to vote for the best Demo Jam contestant as well, so please stick around. Next up, we've got Komiko. Komiko provides data capture, machine learning, and virtual assistant functionality for maximizing your customer relationships. Whether your goal is retention, expansion, or winning new business, there is a pattern of behavior that is predictive for success, and I like this, or failure. Kimiko understands those patterns and guides your teams to more wins. How about that? So I'm really ready to see this. Hal, are you out there?
Absolutely. Thanks for the intro. Appreciate it.
No problem. Your class starts now.
Great. All right, so here we're looking at Kimiko's embedded UI within Salesforce Lightning here. We've got an embedded tab here that's showing a list of accounts. And what we're showing on each of these accounts, I'm looking at a customer success scenario in this case. These are the 9 accounts this customer success manager is managing. They've just taken over this new account, New York City Bikes, and so they're checking on this one. And you can see they've got the entire timeline of all the interactions here. That all is provided by our tool that does direct integration to both Gmail, Exchange, Office 365, so we can get all the data in here. We can see what's going on. We'll drill into that a little more in a second. And you can see for this particular account, I've got 2 recommendations. And one is that we're only received 1 email in the last 30 days. It's less than our target of 2, right? And that one person, Ezra, has become disengaged in the last 30 days. So essentially what we're monitoring as part of the engagement plan for this particular class of customer and enterprise customers, how many people are engaged, what's our rate of receiving email, how engaged are they with us, not how often do we send them stuff, but how often do we receive things, meeting cadences, etc. And so we can see that these 2 are the items that are open for us to take care of. If we actually wanted to go ahead and try to re-engage Ezra here, we could send Ezra an email directly. We can bring the UI in. Again, this is going to show up directly in your outbox, your sent items in either Gmail or Exchange, depending on what email system you're using. We can pull down a template here that says, hey, follow up after our call, or whatever the items are here. We can attach documents. You can see we got a very scoped set of items to do there. We send it, it'll show up directly in the sent items of this customer success manager. So again, I just took over this account as a customer success manager, so I want to drill down and see a little more information about sort of the interactions, who the contacts are, all of that sort of thing. So I can click this link right here. It's going to take me to the account page with an embedded UI here on the account page that basically gives us, okay, who on our team has been in contact with this customer over the last year. If we wanted to change it to all time, we can see 2 additional people that have had contact with this customer. Over the last year, it's been Jerry, who was the previous customer success manager, and Nancy is me, and I've had some contact with this account in the past. And we can see there are 4 active contacts on the customer side. And if we wanted to actually see, okay, Tammy is our top contact here, let's see just the interactions that involve Tammy. And you can see I have had some interactions with her. And if we wanted to see, for example, documents that involve Tammy, or search for things that include particular product names, and actually see individual things. So you can see all in one place, I've got everything organized around my interactions with this account, and a health score for that account overall, and an action plan virtual assistant for taking care of my customer. And that's that.
Awesome. That was super cool. I love this visual that you've got up on your screen with the team versus the contacts. Like, that is super amazing. The fact that you have historical insights about which team members engaged with different contacts definitely will save the person on the other side of the computer screen a lot of time in really understanding, not only by reading, but by consuming a visual. So this is super amazing.
Right.
I love what you've done here in terms of that visualization. I'm going to change things up a little bit, and I just had a question. So my question for you is, what qualifies for a contact to be disengaged?
So it can be, the machine learning model actually sets up different time periods and different classes of contacts. So in this particular case, we're looking for a contact that's been engaged, either via direct email exchange, and accepting a meeting, phone calls if you're logging those, over the last 30 days. So what that disengage message says is Ezra has not been involved in a phone call, we've not received a message from Ezra or had a meeting with Ezra in the last 30 days. So that time period could vary. The class of contact can vary. All those things can be based on the model that Komiko learns for your business, what a successful pattern of engagement looks like for you.
Cool, that's awesome. Thanks so much for showing how your app does a 360-degree view of not only the contact, but the account. Great stuff.
Thanks, Joshua.
Jeff, over to you.
All right, thanks, Joshua. Last but certainly not least today, we have Learnsmarter. Learnsmarter is used by organizations around the world to run their instructor-led training operations, and it works with Learnsmarter Engage, the e-commerce tool for training companies. Since updating Engage to run on Salesforce communities, It's quickly stirred up a ton of interest out there in the market. And I've got Sean Dukes with me today. Sean is the CEO of Learnsmarter. So without any further ado, let's just jump into it. Are you ready, Sean?
I'm ready. Thank you.
Your 3 minutes now.
So Learnsmarter is an application for managing instructor-led training. In this demo, I'm taking on the role of a manager of a training organization. And I'm looking at my forecast for this month. Now, I haven't quite reached my forecast. But what I am able to see is if I look over here, my best-selling course, which is Reporting 101, I only have a few places on. So I need to do something about that. So what I'm going to do very quickly is just go and have a look at that course. So we'll switch into it here. You'll see as I scroll down, we can see how full these courses are. I see they're all sold out apart from one. What I'm going to do is I need to schedule some more. So the quickest way to do that is to use a cloning process. So that's what I'm going to do now. What the clone does is I'm going to decide a date I want to start on. I want to make 5 versions of this. So I'm going to schedule it 5 times. And I could schedule it 50 times. It would be, say, almost as long. This obviously is the high jeopardy part of the demo because this bit here is running asynchronously. So I actually have absolutely no idea how long this is going to take. I'm just crossing my fingers and hoping it goes as quickly as it has most of the time. Anyway, so what it's doing here is it's doing that scheduling and it's checking for the availability of all of the resources and the rooms, trainers, all that kind of stuff, and making sure there are no problems. There aren't any, which is great. So I'm just going to go ahead and finalize that, which is happening now. And this is running through. So that's great. So that's all happened. This information here is then accessible. We have a REST API, and that REST API can be used to integrate with a website. So, which is handy because I have a customer who's just come along to my website. So here is my customer, and you'll see that when they go to that Reporting 101, those courses I scheduled are already available on the website there. So they're going to go and add it into their basket. They want 6 places, so they're going to just update that quickly. And that updates the value, and now we're going to go through the checkout process. So what's going to happen here is I actually want to send all of my team. They've been before, so it's pretty easy to allocate them. I can just add them in like this just by clicking the little plus signs. And once I'm done, that's all good. I save it. Now, this is the only bit of information that you've seen so far that isn't in Salesforce. That's the credit card detail. The credit card information is held in Stripe, so that all of the, there's basically no credit card information in Learnsmarter whatsoever. It's all held in Stripe, but the idea is that it will give the customer, nevertheless, a very kind of seamless experience. So there we are, that registration has been made. All that I need to do now is come back here, and I seem to be going a bit quickly, but never mind. So all I need to do is come back here, refresh my dashboard, and I've hit my target. Whoa! Thank you.
Nice job. That is fantastic stuff. I've never seen where you could allocate that way directly within Salesforce, get everybody ready, get all of the preparations and make sure there's no gotchas, no misses of not having the right resources, the rooms, everything like that. That was fantastic stuff. So I like seeing that. It was great to see all of that happening within Salesforce, and then immediately it's available out on the e-commerce side, and the fact that you then integrate to Stripe, make it easy to register people and get them in there. And then, of course, hitting a target, that's always a good thing too. So good job.
Thank you.
Amanda, I gotta hand it over to you and see what our audience wants to ask Sean today.
Great. Yes. Awesome job. Good to see the experience from the beginning to the end for sure. The question is about the main benefit of using Learnsmarter Engage, of all your customers using it. What do you find that your customers find to be the biggest benefit?
Okay, well, I've actually probably going to answer that. I think there's 3 things that people like about it. The simplicity, the fact that everything is all in one place, and the usability is very important, but the brandability is also really important. So the data all stays in Salesforce, it never goes anywhere, but customers see their brand really strongly represented, and it's easy to do that. They never have to worry about synchronizing stuff, and that's really important for them. So basically, it's just a really neat experience, not using too many disparate systems, not using any, in fact. Thank you.
Well, imagine that. You don't have to do exports and all that out to your website. It's all directly hooked into Salesforce. So fantastic. Good job. Hey, I'm going to hand it over to Joshua. It is the time of the show where you guys get to vote. Why don't you tell them a little bit about that, Joshua?
That's right. So on your screens now, you are going to be prompted with a company to select. Please select the best demo jammer. And in a moment, we will announce the winner. But until then, Jeff and I are going to entertain you a little bit. Jeff, what do we have to talk about?
I think, you know what, here's one thing that I think we should talk about is that there's a community of people out there within Salesforce community that you may have run into before. They're called Salesforce MVPs, and they are highly engaged people within this larger, almost 3 million people community of Salesforce users. And those of us who are, well, who've been a part of the program for a long time, like Joshua and myself, we've been privileged to be a part of that. And here's a chance that's coming up very soon here to nominate people to become part of that MVP community. So what I'm thinking about is if you guys have met people before who at your user group or at Dreamforce or other places, you've met people who have pointed you in the direction of some great AppExchange apps, things like that, and they're involved in the community, there's a chance for you to go out and nominate those people. Joshua, why don't you tell them a little bit about that process?
Yeah, sure. So the MVP nomination process actually opened earlier this week, and it will be open until February 5th. And it's an opportunity for anyone in the community, whether you're a customer, a partner, someone on the outside, seeing a trailblazer do great things. So all you have to do is go to salesforce.com/MVP and type in the person's name to nominate them. And you'll provide details around, their Twitter handle if you see them on Twitter, and also how they've impacted your career or your experience within the community or how they've helped you. I mean, this community of Salesforce MVPs is super elite because we're focused on different aspects of the community. You could, be involved in AppExchange, you could be involved in community events, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But this is your opportunity to really give that person some credit that influenced your life, your career, helped you solve that problem, or basically, showed you how to do more in Salesforce. And so that process will be open until the 5th. And then, they'll be announced later on this year as soon as the results come out. And that's about it. It's pretty simple. The form takes about 2 minutes to fill out. And it's a really great way to recognize people silently in the community for their efforts and making them have the ability to win a title such as Salesforce MVP.
Absolutely. It's great job explaining it there, Joshua. So please pay attention to that. Would you repeat the URL again for them, Joshua?
Sure. It's salesforce.com/MVP.
Well, that's simple enough. So go out and check that out. But in the meantime, guess what I have right here? I have got our winner for the January 2018 Demo Jam. It is Learnsmarter. Congratulations, Sean.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah, do you have a couple words of wisdom for the audience? Do you want to thank the panelists, the judges? I don't know what you want to. You thank your audience probably.
Yeah, I think thanking the audience would be a great thing. To be honest, I really wasn't expecting that, like all Oscar speeches. So thank you very much. It was a lot of work for 3 minutes, I have to say, but probably worth it. So I really appreciate everybody. I appreciate you guys for setting this up. Thank you very much. That was awesome. Looking forward to seeing the trophy.
Yeah, congratulations.
Practice makes perfect.
Exactly, and it is a tough thing to do. Some people wonder, hey, how hard is it to do a 3-minute demo? It is really hard. It's probably almost as hard as a 45-minute demo, really, when you think about it. So to close out the show today, let's hand it over to Amanda to hear a little bit about what's coming up in the near future.
Great, thank you. Congratulations to Learnsmarter. But we have more demo jams coming up. February 15th, same time, same location. We have our demo jam webinar for sales apps. March 15th, we have our webinar for manufacturing and ERP apps. And then, believe it or not, Trailhead DX is right around the corner, March 28, 29. We're going to have a demo jam there. Joshua is actually going to be live in person hosting, so that'll be a lot of fun. So stay tuned. You're already registered, so all you have to do is show up again. It's that easy. So thank you guys for coming, and great job.
Yeah, thanks to everybody who participated today. We look forward to seeing you again next month. Take care.